So many of us, we don't realize, but for most of our life, we have been living from the head and being disconnected from the body. I know I was, and a big part of my head to heart movement and journey is bringing women back into the body, helping them feel safe to be in the here and the now. And you know, a lot of it's trauma release, a lot of it's nervous system regulation. I just had a client now and she didn't even realize how much shame she had in her body, because every time she'd be in a public space or in a, be in like kind of a group setting, she would feel so disconnected from her body. She'd dissociate, and dissociate's where your eyes go like this and you're kind of not here in the present moment. And a big part of my work has been anchoring me to feel safe in the present moment, which a lot of the time, if we've been disconnected from our body, it's because there's been trauma, pain, and we've had a feeling of unsafety, and this shame is what creates a lot of this suppression in our emotions, this kind of numb, this disconnect from our emotions, because we have been in the pain body, and the pain body is painful to be in, so we go into the mind, and often are not, when we live around our mind, we're really disconnected from our feminine energy, our life force, our Shakti, our sensuality. And this client of mine, she's also been really struggling with finding a partner. She's nearly, I think 40, and unfortunately she's been so much living in her head, in her more of a masculine, in her survival, in her ego, that she's having a bit of an awakening journey coming to the program and coming to the work, because she realizes how disconnected she's been, like to the point where she forgets to eat sometimes, and she just works like 8 hours without eating. And I said to her, like, unless you're intentionally fasting, which is what I do regularly, but unless you're intentionally fasting, your body needs food, you know, we need energy. I don't think we need as much food as we end up consuming, but when you're not eating, your body is going into a state of this survival energy, and this increases cortisol, which increases the stress hormone. And for her, and our work is like coming back into the present moment, coming back into her body, feeling safe to be in the here and the now, which for many of us that have experienced trauma or dysregulation in the nervous system, it feels too scary to be in the here and the now. So we'll disassociate and go into the mind. And the mind is what keeps us suffering, because when we're in the mind, we're really disconnected from our heart. We're disconnected from our heart, our body, our intuition. And our intuition is like, our body is like our gut. It's like that fire in us, like that fire, that burning fire to say no, to feel into our body. What's a yes? Expansion. What's a no? Contraction. For a long time, I just gave my power away to teachers and people because I didn't listen. I wasn't attuned to my body's yes or no. I was very much disconnected in my head, so I wasn't listening to my body signals. I didn't know what they were. So a big part of like embodiment and coming into the body is a journey. It's a journey, and for everyone it looks different. And the methodology I've created over 7 years has been my kind of medicine, which has been based a lot on yoga, on tantric hatha yoga, on breath work, pranayama, embodiment practices that help us feel safe in the moment, psychosomatics, parts work, and yeah, just like really starting to connect to like, what do I need in this moment? Like how can I nourish myself? How can I love myself? And a lot of this is self-care, you know, and I really felt like when I was speaking to my client, I was like, how can you expect somebody else to love you when you haven't been loving yourself? And she's like, oh, all these women have desires to have children. I don't have desire. I said, how can you have a desire to have a children when you don't even look after yourself? Like, how can you look after a child when you don't even look after yourself, right? The child will die if you don't feed it. You know, when we're really disconnected from our internal nature, our mothering energy, that divine feminine, like, how can we nurture anyone else when we can't even nurture ourselves? I have been in that space, let me tell you that. And, you know, I was also speaking about her work, because her work has not been valuing her. I said, you haven't been valuing you. You've been in a job for 10 years and they haven't been giving you a pay rise the last couple of years. I wouldn't be in a job that didn't value me. I have been in those situations. And now I'm learning, as we come into our body, we come more into our self-worth, we come more into our power. It's really a power shift. Like, it's an energy. When we're in our body, we have more power. When we're in our head, we're disconnected from that life force, which is our power. And this is a big part of Tantra, is coming into our body, feeling that power. Come on, do it with me. Ha! Take big arms up, and then breathe in. Ha! Bring down. Ha! Sound, breath, movement. Ha! Whoo! 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 Just feel that for a moment, and just feel the shift in energy. And even just doing that for a few seconds, you start to feel life force moving through you. Doesn't take that long to reconnect it. So I'm sharing this with you because, yeah, as women, we have to, you know, men are naturally more in the mind than women, but as women, we really need to be in the body, in the feminine embodiment, the descent into the body, coming into our life force. This is like what magnetizes a man to us, is when we're in that body, or we're in that kind of vibrancy, connected to our pleasure, connected to our power, connected to the present moment. That's what attracts and magnetizes a man. You know, if we're living in our head, we're not going to be in our magnetism, actually. And the more feminine we become, the more connected to our emotions, the more connected we are to our feelings. That's the polarity, you know. Otherwise, you'd just be attracted to a man if you wanted someone that was in the head. And it's great. Men are great for that, because we need men that are more logical thinkers. But we as women, as feminine women, if we are disconnected from our body, we're going to not be in the polarity with our masculine counterpart, if we are in that kind of feminine pole. And I'm sharing this because I just see with my client who's really struggling with this. You know, we've only just started working together for 3 sessions now, but she's doing the 4-week somatic healing package. And I really feel like this is such medicine to bring women out of the head into the heart. And this is really my life's work. So yeah, just go sign up to the email list. I'm going to be sharing a lot of practices on my YouTube that you can help get you back into the body if you have been feeling dysregulated or more in your head. You know, there's so many different ways that we can come back into the body. And, you know, breath work's really a great one. I would say if you feel really disconnected from your body, I would avoid doing meditation before you feel more connected to your body, and then start practicing meditation. I kind of did it the other way around, which was more of me dissociating in la la land, and actually coming into my body and now having a strong meditation practice is such a great way to connect to God, to source, to our higher selves, to our guides. And yeah, it's the journey home back here. So if you have any questions, please send me a message. Is there any practices that you have tried on my channel that you love? I'd love to know from you. I'd love to connect with you. And yeah, I'm sending you so much love. Thank you for listening. Big kiss.